Indeed.
I wore that shirt to a karting competition between me and some of the other K1 employees, and somehow managed to pull off fourth.
That's actually pretty sick.
And I had to explain the whole lore behind the shirt.
I love that. Alright, we're live there. That's live.
It's awesome to see that we're like double booked.
Dude, you know how good it makes me feel to see that, honestly? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's growing and it's really freaking awesome.
yep.
The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast.
Just south of Seneca Lake in rolling vineyards and woodlands in upstate New York's Finger Lakes region is a shrine of American motorsport. And sometimes you recognize that a track is more than a racetrack. It's a birthplace of road racing that will host, well, what's going to be an interesting race to say, because the Corgi showed up and things just went wild. And of course, if you're familiar with Triple Bypass, you know the Corgi shows up, you know action happens, and you know that we're in for a good doggone time. Forgive the pun. Yes, I said doggone time. Welcome everybody here into Triple Bypass. It is the Cultured Designs 40 laps here around Watkins Glen. Of course, as always, it's brought on by Cultured Designs and Terry Brooks, bringing you the entire ARCA season. And well, you're going to realize something real fast if you've been watching the entire season so far. I'm not Corey Silva. I'm Brad, and I'm clicking buttons. So what does that mean? Well, of course, it's double duty here on PTR TV. So while Corey is off doing things with trucks, I decided to have some fun and take the ARCA cars and go back to my roots of broadcasting with Triple Bypass and bringing them to the screen. And who did I bring along to go with it? Well, indeed, I brought along Patrick Coleman. Patrick, sir, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good here, Brad. It is good. Oh, that's a great touch. It's good to be back here with Triple Bypass Racing. I'm mostly recovered, still slightly coming back from a cold I picked up a few days ago, but nothing to lift up the spirits and also change my entire health than some good old therapeutic ARCA engine beauty here, as we are in one of the most beautiful tracks in the world with a very beautifully spectacular crash we just saw on our screens there on a track that has been around since 1956, and its current iteration has been around since 1992. So looking forward to see how these drivers can tackle this Watkins Glen track here tonight.
This is going to be a fun one to watch through as we see some of our drivers finishing up their qualifying times now. While they're doing that, let's go over the points here as they stand in ARCA. Let's get the scores on the doors here. Caleb Brown, 3 wins, 8 top 5. Somebody said, when are we going to incorporate some BOP against Caleb Brown? And I have to ask, well, are you going to throw Chad Winstead in there as well? He's got 2 wins in the season there. Adam Bossy in 3rd, Walker McAnulty, Matt Harmon there, Matt Hyman there in P5. And then Terry Brooks, Cameron Kang, Mark Herzog, Al Corey, and Jason Benson rounding out your top 10 here in points. I was told that I have to say Hyman with a Bostonian accent. I don't know anything about that, but Patrick, well, you're Florida man, so I'm putting the accent job on you. I don't know how to do that very well here. 3 minutes left to go in qualifying. Only 1 car on the track here. Isaac Murphy trying to put in a good time.
I will not attempt the Boston accent. I am unaware of what a Boston accent even. I don't even know if my voice box could actively do that. But yeah, we're going to see how these drivers take on tonight. I'm sure they'll do a better job handling this track than I would trying to do a Boston accent. I thought about trying it just right then, but I mean, as Isaac Murphy is trying very hard not to crash and probably failing, that's probably the same sentiment as me trying to go with a Boston accent. But our drivers are going to take on this 2.42 mile long circuit. It has 8 corners, so I know we're very used to seeing these cars turn left, but they're going to have to turn right tonight, and we'll see who can turn right, well, at the right times to get in the right positions.
This is going to be a fun one to really keep an eye on and see how drivers do here. 2 minutes left to go in qualifying. Nobody's on the track. Everyone has attempted a lap, or they absolutely bend the car trying to put in a lap. And let me tell you right now, if you bend the car trying to put in a lap, that is unfortunate because you will be starting from the back. And if you're starting from the back, well, good luck, my friends, with that one. But I'm sure it'll be okay, right? Like that. I'm sure they'll be okay. It can't be a big problem. We'll see how it plays through here as we go. Of course, if you like what you see, we're on the chase for 2,000 subscribers. I know we're very close. I don't think we've hit that yet. I'm going to do a quick fact check of myself here on the back end while I look through. I know last I checked, we were not there. We are actually about 50 short right now. So make sure you like and subscribe. Give us a little bit of help to get there. 60 seconds left to go in qualifying. Well, Brad Kress decided to wait till the end to try to put in a time.
Well, I mean, to his credit, the track is going to be the most rubbered in that it's going to get during this qualifying session. That's where the most grip is. And we have even seen, even just in the little bit of time we've been watching this qualifying session here, Brad, people have really just been struggling to find that grip, especially on that turn 8. I've seen quite a few drivers just get a little loose through there. So, I mean, hey, maybe this extra grip, I mean, waiting till the last possible moment could actually pay off here for him.
Definitely could here. Let's see what happens as he crosses the line. Let's actually hop on board here and enjoy some of our Whiplash SimCam telemetry as we go through. Be sure to reach out to them for some great cameras we're riding on board here. Let's get an idea of how this goes for Brad Kress if he brings in a good time. Coming through, very conservative on the downhill, I have to say, into turn 1, and now it's up the run here. Light lift coming in. You can see him trying to just balance everything out in the car as session is going to end. And I think actually, yeah, session has ended there. So his qualifying lap is cut off. It does not let him complete. So let's head down and give you a I can't even say the channel name correct. PTRTV starting lineup here. Patrick.
All right, so in the first row, it is Caleb Brown, championship leader, starting from pole position with Dakota Floyd up into P2. And then we have Walker McNulty. I think I butchered that, but then it is Adam Bossy alongside in P4. Chad Winstead, P5, and Sean Bradley, P6, making up row number 3. And then we got in row 4, it is Cameron Kane alongside Keaton Cruthers. Chevrolet 5th row with Sean Cashfaz and TJ Wood, rounding out the 5th row.
Sean, if you want your name pronounced correctly, send me a DM because I also am not 100% sure how to say your name, but that's okay. We'll make it work here on the day as we go. Moving into the next row, it is Connor Prokop and Matt Hyman going through in P12, P13 here. Al Corey, James Honeycutt, and then Terry Brooks, of course, the Culture Design, the series sponsor here for ARCA, with that doggone dog Ryan Hyatt there from Bristol, Tennessee in P16. Jacob Halm, the National Park car in P17 with DJ Dinner in P18. Thomas Affinito in P19 and Isaac Murphy in 20th place here with 7 cars left to go.
And then those 7 cars starting off with Carter Newcomb in P21 alongside Kevin Fana in P22. And then we got Brad Kress and Sean Coe in row number 13. And then the last car on the grid is Tyler Rulis, starting the back of the grid in the number 160 Ford machine. So,
sorry.
I mean, hey.
Sorry, Samson Lewis Jr. and Joseph Edwards for the broadcast graphic accidentally skipping your row there, but you are on the grid. I do see you.
I saw it for like a frame, and then just went to the next one.
It's okay, though. No big problem here. Patrick, as we get this pace lap going, what's going to be the key here for you for drivers to survive this race?
Don't gun it too early and just spin the back end. We saw quite a lot of that during the qualifying session as well. I know these ARCA machines do carry a lot of horsepower to the rear wheels. Just don't gun it too early and just try to survive, really. I mean, I know that's, in some cases, that's much easier said than done, but this is a tricky track, despite how simple it looks, despite the fact there's only 8 corners on the track. You take a lot of these corners at some really high speed, and finding that perfect level of grip might be a tough task here tonight.
Definitely could be here, and I want to give some love again to Terry Brooks here, not the Corgi, but to Terry Brooks here as we pace our way through. Again, Terry Brooks is our sponsor here in ARCA with Culture Designs. Be sure to check them out, as they have been great to bring everything through and make sure that we can bring you all of the great coverage here this season in ARCA from top to bottom, the entire season here on PTR TV. Absolutely love it as we go through the right-hander here coming around. One set of tires going through. The weather here in upstate New York, well, it's a nice 87-degree track tip, 66 air temp going through, 1:18 p.m. virtual time, 66% humidity. Not a care to be found, not a problem to come through on the run. One thing I do want to note here, tires are not going to be an issue, Patrick, and 30 laps of fuel, one pit stop at some point. When do you do that?
That is going to be a tough one. I would say probably, I mean, I'd try to probably run as close as you can, because that way you could just spend less time in the pits. Like we were talking about just a few moments ago, tires are really not going to be a concern, so everybody's probably really just going to go and get a splash and dash as the safety car does pull on in. And it is green flag racing gear. First of 40 laps underway here at Watkins, Glen. And we are already seeing some jostling for position. Caleb Brown does lose a spot on the opening lap. A few cars running a bit wide. Track limits are not going to be a concern at the moment. Positions are already jostling about as Dakota Floyd takes the lead in the first couple of corners.
Dakota Floyd overtaking Caleb Brown. First time we've seen someone really give Caleb Brown a run for their money there into turn 1 going through. Everybody holding on through into the bus stop for the first time we go. And, well, they're having a great time with it right now. Coming on this exit of the bus stop towards the carousel. Everyone making it through for the first time of 40 on the ask of the day. And up front, again, it is still Dakota Floyd holding on against Caleb Brown here as they go through. And tell you what, Patrick, this almost feels like we're back on a Wednesday night, but it's Tuesday nights and it's ARCA cars instead of IMSA class. This feels very much at home for me. I don't know about for you, but lap 1 down, and Caleb Brown, your pole sitter, is not going to be holding on to the lead. We're going to live Moss with some Taco Bell up front.
Seeing these cars turn right is a weird one. I'm so used to seeing these cars turn left. And honest, but hey, it's a welcome change. It's a welcome challenge for these drivers. It'll be interesting to see how they can adapt for. I mean, it's a different challenge. Ovals are their own unique challenge. I know it sounds like it's just, oh, you just have to turn left, LOL. But no, there's some skill in it. It's definitely a unique challenge, and the drivers are going to have to try to adapt. Especially championship leader Caleb Brown, who is still trying to chase down Dakota Floyd to try to retake that position. But so far, that machine, that Liv Moss machine, is a bit too Moss for Caleb Brown to handle, as he's actually under pressure, doing a bit of a spin, snapping a spin, and there is carnage in the background. Oh, we are back to ARCA, baby. Chaos in lap 2 out of 40. Ooh, that car's definitely seen some better days.
That is a big moment there for them off to the side here. Let's see if we can pick up what happened with them and dial up the first replay here of the night for Caleb Brown. I was trying to see something else on the back end that had happened. We had lost Brad Kress and Samson Lewis, and let's dial up our instant replay here of what happened. And
ooh, yep.
Ooh, and it snapped. And then Sean Bradley there went with him. And good news is both those cars have fast repairs. Bad news is they both have to be towed, and those cars are not carring. So with that being said, that hurt for them, and we'll see how it plays out here as we go back to live pictures. And now the challenge is for Walker McAnulty. Can he take on Dakota Floyd up in the front as they go through? Cameron Kane giving Adam Bossy a good challenge here for third place.
Yeah, Cameron Kane, he's gonna put some pressure onto the Twitch Mustang of Adam Bossy here. We know Adam Bossy can be very quick, and so far he's showing to be pretty potent on a road course as well, as the Aflac machine is going to try to continue to get a good slipstream here, chasing down Adam Bossy. Actually, I think it's losing a bit of time now to Keaton Cruthers, who is now going to try to put some pressure on as they go over the curbs. The curbs can really unsettle the car here, as the 35-year-old is going to try to go ahead and put some pressure onto the Aflac Mustang using all of the road. He paid for the whole track, and he's going to use the entire track as he makes his way into turn number 7. He's going to try. He's looking for it. He definitely doesn't have the real estate to do it now, but he's really trying to shape himself up for a overtake attempt here in the near future. A bit of a Congo line from P3 all the way down to P5. The front two have kind of separated from them, as Keaton Cruthers is still chasing him down, but just a little bit further back we do have the series sponsor of Terry Brooks trying to chase down Al Corey. He does run a bit wide into the bit of the runoff there, but it gives him a really good angle to try to resume the attack on Al Corey. And actually he does get the move done, it looks like. No, I think the move is reset. So once again, Terry Brooks still trying to chase down Al Corey.
Watch out for them to have Caleb Brown up ahead here, as Caleb will go through, and that's going to give a good push for them to have a little bit of help ahead. Al Corey, a little bit slow at the bus stop. Terry Brooks with a wiggle. He holds on to it, though, deep on the brakes, down the inside of the carousel as they exit out here down the back straight. Can they clear? Let's see. Al Corey runs it a bit wide. Again, that's all fair real estate there to the outside of the exit of the carousel and the exit of turn 1. You can run that wide if you really want to, because of the fact that we are running the NASCAR track limits. It's not going to hurt you. And you saw Al Corey able to defend that through. That's an impressive fight coming along there. Cameron Kane, Keaton Cruthers, and Adam Bossy here battling along. You said it there, Patrick. The top two have stretched along and gotten their distance and time through, which is going to be good for them as they hang out and relax their way along. Matt Hammond here kind of in no man's land at the moment. He's got Caleb Brown behind him, but Caleb Brown is 1.5 laps down basically at this point. So he's going to try to clear. Let's see if Caleb Brown can get a move into the bus stop, and I think Harmon's going to think better of it. Let him through there. He does. He plays it safe, and I think that's the right decision for Harmon as they work their way through the bus stop, and he is going to let Caleb Brown see if he can make up a lap and a half worth of time in about 34 laps, which should be about, and we'll call it about 45 minutes of racing.
Exactly that. So we're going to see just how these drivers can try to survive here. And I mean, it's going to be a tough one for the championship leader of Caleb Brown to try to make his way through the field. But he's already made some pretty darn solid progress here, as he did clear Matt Hammond just up the road ahead.
There we go.
How to try it at least once for Corey in particular. But Caleb Brown did get past Matt Hammond, as he's now going to try to continue to push up the field, try to unlap himself, as he does get past Isaac Murphy as well. And I mean, this is crucial for the championship. I know we still got a ways to go before the championship is wrapped up here, Brad, but I mean, we saw how fast the Elbows Out Racing Series sped through, But now that we got 5 race weekends left, and with this being one of them, that time is going to fly by at the snap of a finger.
That it is. And yeah, just 5 more weeks to go here in the run. There's no chase, no championship run. It is genuinely just who has the most points at the end here. The last weeks coming up are Lucas Oil on the 31st of March. North Wilkesboro, Richmond, and Kansas will finish out this Culture Design season here for Triple Bypass, the season 10 of ARCA. Hard to believe that this season has been into double digits. I remember being around Triple Bypass for like season 2 and 3 and getting to be around season 4 even. Remember those times way back, and it's great to see that this league has grown and developed and moved into a 10th season and counting. Cameron Kane putting some pressure here with Keaton Crothers there just behind. Cameron Kane trying to work his way past at the moment of Adam Bossy. He does so, clearing him through. That is a great run for him to work his way up there into P number 3. Adam Bossy there sitting in the 4th position, as it looks like it is actually not registering that pass for some reason as a pass. We'll see if we can't reset the ticker on our back end here. Down the inside goes Adam Bossy to try to defend on a pass from Keaton Crothers. Does just that and has a great run there on his side. They go side by side here, coming through. Out of the final corner they go, and well, here we go. It's a 3-wide run down, and it's going to start out with Adam Bossy here ahead of Keaton Crothers, with Cameron Kane there in 5th place.
Yeah, that was pretty optimistic, but sometimes optimism does pay off. And Adam Bossy showing who's boss on track at the moment, as just a little bit behind. It is still Keaton Crothers and Cameron Kane still going to go to try to fight for that position. I mean, you can get some pretty good slipstreams here on Watkins Glen, as we do bring up an instant replay as we catch a moment, and that is just losing the back end in turn 1.
Turn 1 can be challenging because it's a downhill right-hand braking zone. And, well, that was Carter Newcomb. There's Isaac Murphy losing it there in front of Terry Brooks. And Al Corey with some great defense there on the exit of the pits. Ooh. You have to say, Jacob Halm here, what happened to him going into the penultimate corner, just too deep on the brakes going through. We've had Samson Lewis Jr. unfortunately have a moment there, the front end. That's not going to help the radiator. And that is not going to be ideal for him at all as they go through and we get back into live pictures. Samson Lewis Jr. is back out on track, and we go back to live pictures up front. Here we go. Battle for the lead has now heated up.
Indeed it has, and we're going to see a very good fight here as Walker...
McAnulty.
You said the name earlier.
I'll say it for you. Walker McAnulty.
Thank you. McAnulty, there we go. I'll get it right eventually. Dakota Floyd is going to defend from Walker McAnulty there, as he's going to try. Walker tries to walk his way up into P1. Not quite. He's got to walk a bit faster than that if he wants to get that position. Getting a bit squirrely, though, on corner exit on the runoff there. As so far, that Taco Bell is living just about enough to stay ahead here. Getting really good runs here through this sector of racetrack. Now, you can catch a pretty good draft here on this particular straight just before the chicane. And the curves on the chicane are very, very misleading. It seems like it could be an easy one, which so far a lot of these drivers have taken it pretty easy, but catch that curve ever so slightly incorrectly, and that could set you up for a world of trying to catch your car before it spins into a barrier.
Well, and that was something we saw a lot in the Nichols Oil Pros Cup Series. Now, of course, that's the Cup car versus the ARCA car, and that's a argument that I really don't feel like starting. But if you ran the car the wrong way on the curbs, it would bottom out and spin. And, well, that is something that you have to be careful of here going through, because if that does happen, it creates a whole nother world of hurt and issues that, well, nobody, frankly, wants to deal with if we're looking through. But you can see here, taking advantage, running wide, a great run here from Walker McAnulty to try to move his way along to close up that gap to Dakota Floyd, who that's a name I don't recognize. And I told you this before we came into the broadcast, that I didn't recognize Dakota Floyd's name, and maybe that's just a me issue at that point, but great to see him here. And Up in the front, side by side through the bus stop, trying to clear through, and Walker not able to clear inside. He's going to try to go the outside through the carousel. Can he hold on to this outside line and have some grip in those tires? Here, lap 11 of 40. It doesn't look like it. He can clear as we go through, and he's still right there on the back behind. You see that great three-car battle going through of Bossy, Crothers, and Kane. Up front, though, these two are just hooked nose to tail.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much like peanut butter and jelly, just inseparable. Just like these three. These three are pretty much just stuck together like peanut butter and jelly. Some weird three-layered version of a peanut butter jelly sandwich as they make their way in the beginning of lap 12, and as we just go back to the front, back to now P3. The Twitch Mustang is not very twitchy compared to some of its competitors here. Adam Bossy able to keep real good control of that Mustang, and that's part of the reason why he's been so consistent here on the day, as he's just been able to keep the car in the good operating window and just hasn't been pushing it too much, as I believe we are about to see some traffic for Dakota Floyd and Walker McNulty.
Yeah, that was Samson Lewis Jr. going a lap down there that they were able to navigate, and now it's going to be up to Adam Bossy, Crothers, and Kane to navigate through the backstretch here around Samson Lewis Jr. They are in a good position here holding along. I think they're doing fine. Behind them, it is Sean Cashfash and Connor Prokop that are battling it out here. And again, guys, if you want me to say your name right, send me a DM after the broadcast. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right here looking at my sheet, but you never know. I've had names shock me before going through. I do indeed just speak English here in Kentucky, so some names are not my favorite, even though I do know a little bit of Polish here and there, which is why I think that SZ is a j sound going through. Up at the front, Floyd McAnulty again. It's a good battle. I wish I had a way to do two streams at once here, because there are some great battles all up and down the field that are happening. And I think Al Corey into the pits here on lap 13 of 40. He is opting for an early pit stop here. We know 30 laps was the run on fuel. I think he's opting for an early pit stop because I don't see anything like he wrecked.
It is interesting. Maybe it's an early pit stop call. Maybe. I mean, maybe it's the mother of all undercuts that we're seeing here from Al Corey into the pits. Maybe. I mean, I feel like it's a bit early, though. Yeah, I feel like it's a bit early for a pit stop. Tires are, I mean, even if tires were concerned, they wouldn't burn out this early on only lap 13. So, yeah, a bit of a curious one. Who knows? Maybe it's a strategic masterclass that we're seeing here, and we just don't see the vision yet. It's very possible.
This has to be Al Corey rolling the dice. I don't know anything else that he would be doing at this point, really, just with what I know with Al. I can tell you right now, well, more drivers coming in. Sean Cashfaz, Connor Prokop, James Honeycutt, not in. Ryan Hyatt, the Corgi, is in. Carter Newcomb has a meatball flag. What happened to Carter as pit stops are going through? The Corgi is in, and again, well, look at that rafter graft coming through here as he is going to pit his way along. I see Samson Lewis Jr. has more damage there. The Corgi can't find his pit box, and well, while he does that, I want to find out what happened to Carter Newcomb. We are going to dial up another PTR TV replay here and see if I can't give you an answer as to what happened to Carter. Weird situation for him, and I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. I have the answer. Turn one victim. Let's see here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, turn one, and that left front doesn't left front.
Yeah, I just could not get the car rotated, and yeah, that'll do it. And I mean, you can just see that thing's got some massive damage on it. I mean, I know these cars are meant to turn left, but it looks like he's having trouble just turning in any direction for that matter. Looks like it's actually a bit harder to turn left in that car at the moment. But yeah, I mean, even from the last time I commentated on this track, it was in Super Formula, and even though those cars have significantly more downforce than these ARCA cars. That turn one can still be pretty devastating if you take it incorrectly. So it just shows that whether you have a lot of downforce or not a lot of downforce, that turn one is lethal if you don't take it carefully.
Yeah, it's a downhill right-hand braking that just sort of cambers weird, and so it's very, very deceptive here. Let's ride on board really quick on with Cameron Kane, if I can find the correct doggone camera that I want here. And I mean, watch. So he's really, really playing it safe here because he's trying to get around Keaton Crothers coming through and along, and he's giving it a try to go. There we go. They have to work their way around Samson Lewis Jr. They do a good job navigating their way around him there through the S's, and now we head up towards the bus stop, and you can see that they're hanging along here, coming through, and I mean, closing the gap a bit, not able to go. Up front, Walker McAnulty has passed Dakota Floyd. Gap now 1.3 seconds separating them.
Yeah, Walker's just walking off into the distance there, 80 in the number 113. I mean, sometimes, you just gotta, once you get ahead, some drivers can really just take advantage of that clear air and just have a good time of it and just extend that gap. We're seeing as he gets past some traffic here, I think one of those cars ended up in the pits. He's going to continue on here, Dakota Floyd. Going to try to put Moss into that car to try to see if he can make up some more positions. As there is one bit of traffic separating the two, it is the Corgi of Ryan Hyatt, right in between Walker and Dakota. We'll see if that will be a bit of a problem. If we're going to have a bit of a traffic give it the traffic ticket away moment here in triple bypass.
You've been waiting a couple weeks to say that, so I knew that line was coming out sooner rather than later. I just didn't know when. As we go through approaching half race distance here, Adam Bossy, Keaton Crothers, Cameron Kane continue to battle through. And well, to answer the question on the traffic, it looks like the traffic did absolutely nothing to the problems here. The Corgi playing nice here, deciding to share his treats and toys and the track and get out of the way as it goes. Series sponsor Terry Brooks into the pits now as he will come out. It looks like for him it's a very quick pit stop as well. Let's get an idea of how quick is a quick pit stop here. 8.6 seconds. Fuel only for sure was the choice from Terry Brooks. So about half the field is pit. Everyone in the top 9 still needs to pit in. And then there's a couple more drivers further back. Shanko and Tyler Ruelas still needs to pit as well. But top 9 all opting to stay out and run this thing dry, and then they will go for a quick 10-lap dash to the end.
That seems to be the best strategy, honestly. I mean, I know Al Corey rolled the dice a bit earlier. We'll see if that dice roll ends up to be something actually worthwhile, or if he's just going to get snake eyes and just kind of tank it. But, I mean, we'll see. Traffic doesn't play a massive factor, but also strategy is basically half the battle here, as Alabasi just goes up the inside. The Corgi playing nice, like you mentioned earlier, not trying to mess up any of the traffic. Ryan Hyatt is not really in the battle with any of these guys, just let them on through, let them do their thing. As Anabasi once again leads these 3 Musketeers through turn 7 and 8 to begin their next lap. I mean, an undercut, we could see an undercut here. I don't really foresee anything earlier than 25. Lap 25, maybe we might see some drivers pit in just to try to roll the dice, like how Al Corey did a bit earlier on. But yeah, I don't really see a majority of the field pitting in before lap 25. That's just me. But once again, I mean, the drivers, they can feel how the car is behaving. They're the ones actually in the cockpit at the moment, so they can definitely get a good gauge on how the car feels, and they will probably have a pretty good inkling as to when is going to be the right time to make that pit stop to get that little bit of fuel.
Yeah, that is one of those things that I always kind of envy the drivers in the car, that they have the best sort of feeling and thought of where things are at. And it's something that I know that there's a way we could get additional information and go through here in the booth, but I just don't know it. Look at the dive to the inside from the 83 there to get clear of the traffic. That's a good move there going along in that traffic, I believe, was not Sean Coe. That was not Caleb Brown. Well, I apologize, but whoever the bright pink car was, I will have to double check who you were here on the back end, because I know who you were. That was Kevin Fana in the 85 in that car, who they worked their way through. This is your closest battle on track here, hitting half distance, other than, well, Sean Bradley and Thomas Affinito, who are battling it out here. The Costco Mobile of the 75 coming along with Adam Bossy going through. Sean Bradley now working his way past Tom. No, that was actually DJ spinning out on the entry to pits. Style up a replay of that really quick and see what happened to DJ coming into pit entry.
Yeah, we'll see here as we get the replay pulled up here as DJ. I mean, at least you picked a pretty good spot to spin out at. Just straight into the poo. Yikes. Spinning like a record on a DJ machine. I mean, I know DJs, they have the little wheel thing on their interfaces that they spin, but I don't think you want to spin your car with the same level of ferocity. And that was a huge hit. You're definitely going to be sore in the morning from that one. But hey, I mean, you could not have picked a better place to do that, though, to be fair. To give credit to DJ. I mean, doing that right in the pits, I mean, hey, you don't have to tow, because you're already right there. Just drive forward a couple of feet.
You're not wrong. He's in the pits and has been in the pits for 1:15 and counting now. It looks like, I can't tell if he's used his fast repair already or if this is his fast repair use. Looking at the back end telemetry here, we'll see if he comes back out here in a minute. And it looks like, actually, no, he is on his way back out. So that was his fast repair. Thankfully, he still had that fast repair available. That is going to save him big time here coming through, so he can get more laps through. 20 down, 20 to go here, Patrick. Plenty of action still to go, and it's still Bossy, Crothers, Kane battling it out, and they're starting to close into Dakota Floyd, but right as I say that, well, here they go, all three of them pitting in together.
I mean, yeah, here we go. So, I mean, they were together on track, and now they're together in the pits. But some of them, anyways. Adam Bossy now is going to try to make a good pit stop here. He's going to get a little bit of fuel with about 19 laps to go. So, I mean, a bit earlier than I was anticipating, but still a pretty good shot to... Pretty good call to make the pit stop now, just to get it over with and hope that they don't come out in a world of traffic. As himself and Dakota Floyd, Cameron Kane. Oh, and actually, Adam Bossy gets out ahead of Dakota Floyd. So, Dakota Floyd might be intending on pushing a bit harder on this stint. He took more time in the pits.
He took tires.
Reduced... Oh, interesting. Now, I know it's not illegal to take tires here. You do have an extra set of tires to play with, but from what we were kind of expecting earlier, tires were not supposed to be a concern. We weren't really expecting anybody to change tires. So I wonder if that is a misclick of some sort, or maybe just, like we said, they have the best feeling of how the car is behaving in that moment. And maybe that car was just not feeling good. The tires might have just been feeling a bit worse for wear.
We'll find out here, and I'll tell you what, while he's going through, still the top three need to pit, but I'm curious to see how Dakota Floyd pushes. So what we're going to do is we're going to ride on board with him here for a lap and go and just listen, and let's see what he does here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 15 laps to go here. And who is your leader at the moment? It is Keaton Crothers and Matt Hyman running up in the front here, going and seeing what they can do here in the Triple Bypass ARCA series brought to you by Culture Designs. It's myself, Brad Dalton, here, joined by Patrick Coleman, seeing how this race can finish up as we go through current closest battle on track. It's Adam Bossy and Dakota Floyd, separated by about a second here.
Indeed, we have seen some really good racing up and down the field. King Cruthers, though, still needs to make a pit stop. So he will need to get fuel at some point. Probably waiting till the last moment. These cars are expected to go 30 laps on fuel alone. Tires aren't a concern, but we did see the likes of Dakota Floyd taking a fresh set of rubber, so it'll be interesting to see if that pays off here. Sometimes the fresh rubber can really help, but other times when you're trying to get those tires warmed up and ready to go, those cold tires could be a bit tricky, especially on some of the more difficult corners like turn 1 and turn 8. Those two corners we have seen catch a few drivers out already. Dakota Floyd is chasing down Adam Bossy here for P4, and as we take a look now, it is the Corgi of Ryan Hyatt trying to go ahead and chase, or he's being chased by Jacob Halm in the number 16 Chevrolet. We'll see who can get the position out between these two, but Ryan is going to go ahead and continue to hold on to the position for now. Jacob is going to be able to close in slightly, but not enough to even look at trying to get overtaken. Gets a little squirrely though on the exit, and good save there from Jacob Halm. That could have been race ending. That could have done some serious harm to his race.
I heard what you did there. I love that. But yeah, that was a challenging moment there. Matt Hyman into the pits here. Let's see where he comes out as we look through and see what his pit stop time was. It should have been a very quick stop, 7.4 seconds to get enough fuel for 13 laps here. Where is he going to come out? He should come out on at least the lead lap. We'll see where he comes out in the mix of things. It looks like he comes out in absolutely clean air. Nothing ahead, nothing behind, really. Going through 14 seconds to Cameron Kane and 6 seconds up on Sean Catchfash as he goes along. So great move there for him. And I tell you what, with 12 laps to go, here goes Hyatt and Caleb Brown swapping positions, because Caleb Brown is now into the pits. I think he's going to have to get enough fuel to get to the end, because if you remember his earlier error, he unfortunately came in but had to pit before lap 10, so he didn't have enough fuel, so he has to take a pit stop. This will put him a lap down again, or 2 laps down now actually, going through. So Hyatt and Halm battling it out. Dakota Floyd and Adam Bossy, half a second, the gap separating these two purple mobiles. One of them is a Twitch mobile, one of them, well, makes me want to go get a cheese gordita crunch. I don't know which one's better.
It's been a minute since I've actually been to Taco Bell. I used to always get the Doritos Locos Tacos. That was pretty much my go-to. Do you remember the Baja Blast Gelato they had a couple of months ago? Don't know if that's still a thing or not. That was pretty good. But we'll see if Dakota Floyd, if he could use that Baja Blast powered machine to try to overtake Adam Bossy here. I actually want Taco Bell. I didn't look up and see if there's one near me. I knew there was one next to me when I was in college, but I don't know about here in southern Florida. Be surprised, but I'm surprised that King Cruthers has waited so long to actually make his pit stop with only 11 laps to go. That car was running super light on fuel, so he'll be in the pits for a minute.
Let's see here where he goes through. Will he have enough? That's a long pit stop, honestly. 10.8 seconds to get enough fuel for 11 laps. That's a very long pit stop. I figured that with him waiting so long, it'd be a quick run through, but he'll come out back behind. We'll see where he goes into the mix of these cars coming through, because here's Adam Bossy, Dakota Floyd, and Keaton. He will come out here fourth, and now we've got the band back together for the battle here But up front, Walker McAnulty, 6.7 seconds to the good and, well, stabilizing at that point going through. So we'll see how that handles for him. Battles continuing to develop up and down this field. Looking around, Al Corey and James Honeycutt, they're about to start dueling it out for P9 here in just a moment as well. Taking a look back here, and well, in a moment, I mean right about now, Honeycutt going a bit wider there into turn one. Al Corey takes a very tight line into turn one, and it does help him defend. It puts him under a little bit of pressure into the bus stop, but it certainly helps him hold on here as we head down up the hill, heading towards the bus stop. Honeycutt's going to look to the inside. Is it a late dive on the brakes? Yes, it is. Al Corey brakes a little bit earlier, leaves the racing room, and for Honeycutt, that's a great pass there around to get into P number 9.
Yeah, it was very good indeed. I mean, you love to see aggressive moves like that, but also credit to Al Corey for not just becoming the Great Wall of ARCA and just creating a incident there. He knew he was going to get overtaken, and he just let the move happen. I mean, there's still a good amount of racing to go. You still got 10 laps to go here around Watkins Glen, so I mean, to get points, you need to finish the race. So he figured it's better to lose some points than to lose a ton of points by causing an incident. But now we have Dakota Floyd trying to chase down Adam Bossy for P2 as it sits at the moment. The Taco Bell car does have fresher tires because he was, to my knowledge, the only driver to take a fresh set of rubber in his pit stop. So he's going to try to line up Adam Bossy. But Walter McAnulty is just gone. He is checked out, 7.3 seconds ahead of Adam Bossy in P2. Dakota Floyd shakes for the move. He's going to try it up the inside, but just a bit too much real estate in between. Dakota Floyd will have to settle for P3 now as he gets real close to the wall on the outskirts of the runoff.
Interesting thing to watch here, too. Keaton Crothers is closing in on this gap and may be able to rip a podium from someone if he is careful with it. So I'll be curious to see how he can go along here down the back straight, or down the straight we go into the bus stop. And look at the ramp there from the sausage curb from Adam Bossy. He sent that car up on 2 wheels very quickly as we're down to 9 laps to go. I mean, you said it best. Walker McAnulty, I mean, he's out in a way, but he's really, never mind. I can't say he's not running away because he was half a second faster last lap than the drivers up front here as we check in with him coming through the final corner and taking a look here at him as he goes down the main straight. He's having a good old time here coming through, and well, you got to wonder for him, he just needs to maintain for 8 more laps, and I think he's in a very good position to do so here in that 113. We'll keep an eye on him as he goes, because behind him, I mean, it's kind of that fun thing. The more these guys battle, the further away Walker can go. So at what point do they decide it's better to just sort of follow each other and push towards the 113 and go for a win? Versus at what point do they decide, nope, we're going to fight amongst ourselves for P2 and P3?
I mean, I know I pretty much said earlier that it's better to lose. It certainly is. But if you got a shot to go for more points, you're going to go for it. And that's what Dakota Floyd is trying to do here. Now, Keaton, he's freshest from the pits, and he probably actually took a little bit extra fuel, so he's got more room to push compared to these guys he's chasing down here. So, could be trying to survive, but looks like it's going to be aggression from Dakota Floyd. Oh, and he spins it! Too much aggression is not good for the diet, and he has just spun around. He lived a bit too moss there into that corner, and he is losing so many positions there, and he's actually blocking pit road, which might, I mean, if we weren't at a stage where everybody's already pit, that could have been a serious issue for anybody who still needed the pit.
So you see, this reminds me of when I tell them Supreme no tomatoes, and they still give me tomatoes. This is exactly how I feel. Is probably the same way that Dakota Floyd felt here in this moment. And then again, the just sort of stuck. What do you do in this position? You've got Cameron Kane coming. You can't back up. You need to get off the racing line and flip around. No caution's going to save you at this point. So what do you do? And for him, it was get back going. Unfortunately for Dakota Floyd, well, fortunately, he only drops down to P5 because of the spread of the field here. But that is going to give some, well, that puts some cold water on that battle for P2 up front, I would say. And now we'll just have to wait and see if Keaton can close up to Adam Bossy. Back here, Jacob Holm, Ryan Hyatt, the doggone Corgi, and the Nature Boy. They are now battling themselves out for P11.
As we do see these guys continue to battle, and it's getting very feisty here. It's go big or go home, and it looks like it's going to be Jacob Holm going up a position as the Corgi tries to retaliate here. And this is a beautiful battle here between these guys. Ryan Hyatt now trying to run away. It's a bit further back. It is Isaac Murphy now, I think, battling here. We're going to see how these drivers are going to go ahead and try to fight it out. As we do see, that is actually Walter McAnulty actually running into traffic. So the green and purple 113 Mustang has already caught up to some traffic here that he is going to have to try to clear. It is going to be still about 6 laps to go here on the night. Going to be a make or break time for some of these drivers, as Ryan is, he's probably not going to do anything too risky here. He probably will just let Walker just walk on by. But I mean, if you are Walker McAnulty, you don't want to get stuck behind traffic too much and allow Adam Bossy to really close in. But also, Adam will have to make up about 5, almost 6 seconds in 5 laps, which is it's doable, but it is a very tall order, especially when you got Keaton Crothers just right by and breathing down your neck.
Yeah, they're coming through the bus stop here, separated by about half a second. The Corgi going a lap down there to Walker McAnulty, and Jacob Holm will be the next one to go a lap down there just behind. That is the 05 on the outside line of Isaac Murphy. We saw Walker and company work by. Now we see Keaton and Adam work by, and now here we go into the final couple of corners here, heading into 4 laps to go this time by. And well, this is the closest this has been lined up for a pass in a minute, and we'll see, can Keaton clear this pass through down the front stretch? He's looking close, he's looking good. Can he go through following the slipstream? Take a look here on the Twitch Mobile. Be a little bit brave on the brakes if you dare, but he does not, and he is going to hold along here as it goes, and he will look through, as that is Jacob Holm actually sitting on the inside there of turn 1 with some damage. Looks like him and the Corgi had a bit of a moment there. This will be one of our last dialed up replays here of the night. We'll see if we can find what happened to Jacob Holm.
Yep, just overcooked it on turn 1. We've seen that quite a few times here tonight, where some drivers can really just tend to overcook it on turn 1. I mean, a bit too much throttle there. Very good evasion there. I mean, we saw a very similar incident earlier where 2 drivers not so lucky and got collected. That was at lap 2 at the beginning of the race. The incident that involved championship leader Caleb Brown. And that's the 160 of Tyler Rulis spinning around. Sean Coe has a meatball flag, so be curious to see what happened to the number 50. And here we go.
So the 50 had already had some damage, and then unfortunately he just nosed it into the wall because he couldn't turn. It's been a very, very rough race of attrition here, but it seems like everyone has really given it a good, hard fight here as we go up into the front. And again, it's still Adam Bossy, Keaton Crothers battling it out here with 3 laps to go. Walker McAnulty, the return of the Mac, 4.5 seconds to the good right now. That gap has been closing. Even though he's been running through, that gap has been closing. But with 3 laps to go, can we close 4.5 seconds to these cars behind? Especially when they're trying to navigate traffic like the 124 DJ Ditter there, trying to work their way through. And you can see they're wanting him to go around and wide and out of the way. And he is saying, no, I'll stay on the racing line. They sort it out there. And I mean, that's one of the different things, I guess, for you and me, Patrick, versus, looking at any sort of NASCAR series versus IMSA that we traditionally cover on Wednesday nights here on the channel is blue flag rules are interesting. They're more of a suggestion than they are anything else here in the NASCAR series. They just sort of say, hey, there's a car approaching. You don't have to give way or be nice or do anything. You can fight them as much as you want.
And actually, a fun fact, in another American Oval Series, IndyCar, blue flags are not even a thing. You're allowed to actually fight to keep yourself from getting overlapped. So that's a bit of a fun fact for you. King Cruthers, though, still trying to chase down Adam Bossi to sort out the last two spots on the podium. We'll see if we're going to see any late braking maneuvers. Not quite. He is going to try to line it up on the final lap, as there are 2 laps to go here on the night, and it is going to be King Cruthers still trying to close it in. We do see it is going to be Ryan Hyatt just up the road ahead, and we'll see if the Corgi does play a bit of a factor in this podium battle here between the 83 and the 12. Ford versus Chevy, a rivalry almost as old as American automobiles in general, as the drivers do go through. It is the white flag final lap here on the night. Walker McAnulty still 5.7 seconds ahead of Adam Bossi. And at this stage, it's his race to lose, but we do know how things can change at the drop of a dime here.
That it is. Walker McAnulty has seemed very, very dominant all day today. He's had a great run through. He's continuing to have his run, and we'll see here what happens as he goes through the carousel. Again, looking at the points here as it stands, this was going to be a big day for Caleb Brown. For Chad Winstead, you got to feel for him as well. He lost power during the grid session. And for Adam Bossi, he's in second. Walker McAnulty, this will be his second win here on the run, and this will help him get into a position to challenge into the end of the season. He'll come across the final corner. He'll look out ahead. It's a right-hand turn. He's going to take the win. Barney has the checkered flag, and Walker McAnulty will win the Culture Designs 40 here at Watkins, Glen, and ARCA. In second place, it is Adam Bossi holding off Keaton Crothers here, and then everyone else will come through. In the end, 10 cars on the lead lap.
It was a very good race here tonight. Very good performance there from Walker McAnulty. Very good stuff here. The high chew machine in a high position here, and it is high time for him to do some Watkins Glen donuts. Some of the best donuts you'll find in the entire state of New York, or at least that's what he's trying to make here. Are we gonna see a reverse donut, kind of like Monster Jam?
I'm waiting to see what he's doing here. I wonder if he's just trying to make sure that car passes tech at this point. Here we go. There we go. Now that's the burnout I wanted to see. And with that being said, as the rest of the cars come around the field, let's pull up our post-race results here, and let's take a look at where your favorite driver finished. Top 10 here on the night: Walker McAnulty, Adam Bossi, Keaton Crothers in P3. P4 on the night is going to go to Cameron Kane, with Dakota Floyd in 5th there. That Taco Bell car, we saw his heartbreaking moment near the end. Matt Hyman in P6, with Sean Cashfash in P7. Terry Brooks, James Honeycutt, and the boss man himself, the Al Corey there, finishing out in P10. 11th place on the night is going to go to the Corgi: Ryan Hyatt, Caleb Brown, P12, Brad Kress, 13th, Jacob Hallman, 14th, Sean Bradley, Thomas Affinito, Tyler Ruelas, DJ Ditter in P18, Sean Coe, P19, Isaac Murphy, and rounding out the rest of the field here, Carter Newcomb, Kevin Fana, Joseph Edwards, Connor Prokop, and Samson Lewis Jr., the 25 cars that took on this race. Let's see if we can't catch up here with our race winner of Walker McAnulty. The return of the Mac. The Mac is back. The Mac attack. I don't know how many funny things I can say at this point, but Walker, it's Brad up here in the booth with you here in the victory run. You won at Watkins Glen, and you looked pretty good doing it. How'd it feel?
Oh man, that was a lot of fun. It was. It's always great to race at Watkins with a stock car. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I always get a little bit excited whenever a stock car race goes to Watkins Glen. It's me a little tingly inside.
Well, it definitely looked like it was a great run going through for you. I got to ask, once you got up in the lead and we got things going here, were you even worried about anything behind, or was it just sort of settle in and run your own run?
I kind of like put the pedal down once I got past Dakota to pull like 1 or 2 seconds, and then just kind of slowed down, cruised around at like low 111s, and then every once in a while I would try to set fast lap just so that I could wake myself up. But yeah, just cruising and managing the gap.
And that's your second win here on the season, with just a few races left. How are we feeling going into the last few races of the season? And, well, what do you think you can do to win the championship here?
Well, I will say this was like a massive point stay, with Caleb unfortunately spinning right in front of me in the carousel, and then Chad disconnecting like right before in the grid. So this unfortunate for them, but it's a huge point stay for me and Adam Bossy both. So hopefully that'll closes up enough to where maybe we can try to make it run at things.
Absolutely. Well, man, congratulations on the win. It was great to see you up front, and I'm curious to see how the rest of the season goes, and hopefully we'll talk to you more as things finish up.
I hope so too. Thank you guys. Thanks to TBP. It's always a blast.
And from there, we're going to send it down to Patrick, who's caught up with second place Adam Bossy here.
Hey, Adam. Once again, congratulations on the P2. You and Keaton were basically like peanut butter and jelly fighting all throughout that race. How was this race for you?
Surprisingly better than I expected. Usually I'm kind of expecting myself to be P5 through P10 somewhere in these races. And, luck just kind of fell my way. Chad had an unfortunate issue with power going out where he was. And, Caleb spun out in front of me, and I just kind of found myself in a podium position. So just had to keep it clean the rest of the night and do what I needed to do to get up here.
Exactly that. So we are back to ovals next week at Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway. How are you feeling heading into the last race in March with only 4 rounds to go?
That is what we're going to call a hometown race for me. It's close enough that I would call it a hometown race, and I absolutely love that track. So, hopefully we're going to carry momentum. I think last week, this week, and into next week, maybe we'll get another win and close this gap on Caleb a little bit.
We shall see. Well, last question before I let you go, Adam, is there anybody you'd like to give a special thanks or a shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to you guys. I know you guys put a lot of work into putting these up every week, and I love going back and rewatching these. So appreciate you guys and all your hard work. Appreciate all the work of the league owners and everybody that makes Triple Bypass do its thing. This is one of my favorite places to come run. And outside of that, thanks to the fans watching. Hopefully we'll have some more entertaining shows for you here in the next couple of weeks.
With 4 rounds left to go, I believe that is exactly what's going to happen. Congratulations, Adam, on your P2, and we'll see you next week in Indianapolis.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, and then let's go catch up with P3 here on the night. Keaton Crothers, if he is around, and there's Keaton. Keaton, man, tell you what, good P3 there. You and Adam had a great run to the end. Went from 8th to 3rd there with Twisty Bits. How'd it feel?
Yeah, I felt pretty good. Would like to have given Adam a little bit more than that, but it was a good time.
For sure, man. How was the car feeling here around the Glen? We were told tires weren't an issue. Did you have any big tire fall off, or was there anything left you could have given to the end?
No, I was running faster laps towards the end, so no, lighter load with the fuel. It was the tires were just fine, but yeah, no, she was a little loose at times for sure. was a handful. Sweaty race for sure.
For sure. And keep, man, looking at next week coming up. It's Indianapolis Raceway Park. How are you feeling about next week? And, well, what do you think you got in the car for that?
Don't know if I got much for that. These guys kind of kick my ass at those tracks, so we'll see. We'll give it our best shot.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations on the P3, Keaton. Good to see you up here at the top, and hopefully we'll talk to you more.
I hope so, too. Thanks, fellas.
Thanks. Well, Patrick, I tell you what, it's been a fun night here around the hills of Watkins Glen going through. You got any final thoughts before we send this thing off into the sunset?
It is good to be back with Triple Bypass Racing for the next couple of weeks, and I'll be curious to see about how Lucas Oil Indianapolis goes ahead and takes place. It's gonna be back to ovals, so I mean it is fun to throw a road course in there to mix things up, but these cars yearn for the ovals, and with about 145 laps around that track, next week should be quite the blast.
Should be an exciting run to see how it goes. And of course, make sure you like and subscribe here. Help us on our run to 2,000 subscribers. If you are looking for more racing action tonight, we still do have Dirt Andre and Mr. Corey Silva himself live with Triple Bypass Trucks, so go check them out. But on behalf of Patrick, my name is Brad. We've taken you start to finish here with Triple Bypass tonight. Be sure to join us next time here on the channel where we'll take you start to finish yet again. Good night.